Hello Year 9, and this week's lesson is how to find the nth term of a sequence, and as usual a link to this video is included on the slide. So as always you should send me a copy of the checklist. It consists of 3 lessons. The first lesson is to watch the video to go with the PowerPoint and to copy down the examples, and lesson 2 is to complete the questions. So you can start the questions lesson 1, finish that lesson 2. Only when you've completed those lessons should you go on to do the mathswatch task. So let's have a look at how to find the nth term of a sequence. The previous lesson we were using the nth term. This week we're going to find out how to write the nth term. And there are 3 easy steps to do this. The first step is to find the difference between the terms. So if I have a look at this example, 2, 6, 10, 14, 18, the difference is 4. So I write down the number 4. Step 2 is to multiply by n, and that basically means just write n next to the number you've written down. So I'm just going to put an n there. And then our final step is we need to write down the difference between the number I've just written down, so 4, and the first number in the sequence, which is 2. So if I'm at 4 and I want to get back to 2, I need to subtract 2. So my sequence is 4n minus 2. Let's have a look at another example. So this time the numbers are 10, 7, 4, 1, and minus 2. We can see the difference between each of these numbers is minus 3. So I write that down, minus 3. I multiply that by n, and then I need to look at how do I get from minus 3 back up to 10. Well, to go from minus 3 to 0, that's 3, and from 0 to 10 is 10, so 3 plus 10 is I'd need to add 13. So my sequence, the nth term, is minus 3n plus 13. Let's have a look at 6 examples. So this particular question, question 1, is write down in terms of n an expression for the nth term of the sequence. So step 1, we find the difference between the numbers, which I can see it's going up in 4. I then write n next to that. And then I need to look at how do I go from the number I've just written down to the first number in the sequence. So to get from the number 4 to the first number, which is 3, I would need to subtract 1. Number 2, write down in terms of n an expression for the nth term of this sequence. 8, 3, minus 2, minus 7, minus 12. So what's happening in here is we are taking away 5. So I need to write that as minus 5 because I'm minusing 5 every time. I then put n after it, and then to get from minus 5 all the way back up to 8, I need to add 13. So number 3, slightly different question. The terms in this sequence increase by the same amount each time. So 12 something 26, and what we've got to do is work out the missing term. So if I have a look at the difference between 26 and 12, so if I take 12 away from 26, I can see there's a difference of 14 numbers between this one and this one. So therefore I need to divide it by 2 to make this a 2-step jump to get to 26. So I can see that there's a difference of 7 between the number 12 and this missing number. So if I add 12 and 7, the missing number is 19. So I took the numbers away that I knew to get 14. I divided it by 2 because it was a 2-step jump, and then I added that answer on to see that the difference is going up in 7s. So now I can work out the nth term of the sequence. So the difference I worked out was 7. I multiply that by n, and then to get from the number 7 to the first number in the sequence, which is 12, I need to add 5. So 7n, add 5. So number 4, the second term in a sequence is 7, and the term-to-term rule is add 5. Write an expression in terms of n for the nth term of the sequence. So we need to know what numbers are in the sequence. I know that the second term is 7, and I need to add 5 each time. So I really need to know what that first term is. So if the sequence is going up in 5, it means the number before that 7 would be 2, because 2 add 5 is 7, and then the next number would be 12 and 17. So you can see that the pattern increases by the same amount. You should never go up and then down. So now I can find the nth term. I know the difference is 5. So 5, write n after it, and to get from 5 to the first number in my sequence, which is 2, I need to take away 3, because 5 take away 3 is 2. Okay, the last 2 examples are, we are given a number and we want to know if it's in the sequence. So with these types of questions, what we need to do is find the nth term first. So these ones don't tell you to find the nth term. You're meant to know to use the nth term. So let's write the nth term of the sequence 1, 5, 9, 13. I can see the difference is 4. I'm going to put n after it, and to go from the number 4 to the first number in the sequence, which is 1, I need to subtract 3. Now I'm going to use this to work out if 205 is in the sequence by working backwards. So if 4 times the number minus 3 is 205, if I work backwards and add 3 to get 208, if 208 is divisible by 4, then it's in the sequence, and 208 is divisible by 4 because I can halve it and halve it again. And so I know that 205 is a number in the sequence. So let's have a look at another example. Is 200 in the sequence of this 4, 10, 16, 22? Well, in this case, I can see the numbers are going up in 6s. So the nth term is 6, n, and then to get from the number 6 to the first number, which is 4, I subtract 2. So now I know the nth term. I need to work backwards to find out if 200 is in the sequence. So if I add 2, I get 202, and 202 cannot be divided by 6, so 200 cannot be a number in the sequence. So there's 6 examples. What you've got now is you've got 2 pages of questions. So step 1 are the basic questions where you need to find the nth term. You then need to use the nth term to find the 100th number in each sequence from up here. And then you need to find the first 5 terms of the sequence. If you can't remember how to do that, if you look back to the previous week, we did that last week. And then step 2 questions, these are slightly harder, slight variation to them. So just 5 of those, have a go at those, and the answers are on the next 2 pages. If you want more practice or you want to push yourself, then there's a link here to some test questions with answers, and I think it's a really good idea that you have a go at those to get as much variety as possible. And then only when you've done those lessons, you should do the mathswatch questions. So remember, mathswatch are as well as, not instead of. So thank you very much for taking the time to listen to this video, and if you need any help, please contact me.